Your salary might look bigger than it did 5 years ago, but you're probably more broke than you've ever been. Here's what's happening. Across the country, people are getting raises, promotions, even six-figure jobs, and they're still living paycheck to paycheck. The number on your paycheck keeps climbing, but the life that number used to buy, it's shrinking fast. And after 2026, this disconnect is only going to get worse. I'm not saying money won't matter. I'm saying the way we've been taught to think about salary as the main measure of financial success is becoming dangerously outdated because the economy is changing faster than most people realize. And if you're still playing by the old rules, you're going to lose ground no matter how much you earn. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why your salary is losing its power, and more importantly, what actually matters now if you want to build real financial security. Let's start with the most obvious one, inflation. You've heard this word a million times, but here's what it actually means for your life. Inflation isn't just prices going up a little. It's the cost of everything you need: housing, food, healthcare, insurance, childcare, rising faster than wages can keep up. Even if you got a 5% raise last year, inflation ran at 6 or 7% in many categories. So technically, you're earning less than you were before, even though your paycheck says otherwise. And it's not slowing down. Rent in most cities has doubled in the past decade. Groceries cost 30 to 40% more than they did 3 years ago. A car payment that used to be $250 a month is now $500. Your salary might have gone from $50,000 to $60,000, but your expenses went from $35,000 to $55,000. You're not getting ahead, you're just treading water. But here's the part nobody talks about. Even if inflation cools down tomorrow, the damage is already done. Those price increases don't reverse. Once rent hits $2,000 a month, it doesn't drop back to $1,200. Once eggs cost $6, that becomes the new normal. Your salary has to grow exponentially just to keep you in the same place, and most employers aren't handing out exponential raises. Now let's talk about the second force, how the cost structure of life has fundamentally changed. 30 years ago, the average American household spent about 30% of their income on housing. Today, it's closer to 50% in most cities, sometimes more. Healthcare costs have tripled. College debt didn't used to be a universal burden. Now it's a 30-year sentence for millions of people. Childcare in some states costs more than in-state college tuition. What this means is that even if your salary grows, a much bigger chunk of it is locked into non-negotiable survival costs before you even think about saving or investing. You're not spending more because you're reckless. You're spending more because the baseline cost of existing in America has exploded. And that brings us to the third thing, and this one's uncomfortable. The gap between income and wealth is widening fast. Your salary is income. It's what you trade your time for. But wealth is what you own: assets, investments, property, businesses. And the people who are actually getting ahead right now aren't doing it with salaries. They're doing it with assets. Here's why that matters. While your salary might go up 3% a year, assets like real estate and stocks have been growing 10, 15, even 20% a year in some cases. If you're only earning a salary and not building assets, you're falling further behind every single year, even if you're making more money than your parents ever did. Let me pause here and clarify something. This isn't about blaming you for not being rich. It's about recognizing that the game has changed, and most of us are still playing like it's 1995. Back then, a solid salary, a steady job, and a pension could actually build a comfortable life. That model is dead. It's been replaced by an economy where ownership matters more than income. And if you're not aware of that shift, you'll keep wondering why you feel broke no matter how much you earn. The fourth force is economic instability, and this one's only getting worse. We've had a pandemic, inflation spikes, supply chain crashes, mass layoffs in tech, banking collapses, and we're not even talking about what happens when the next recession hits. The days of working somewhere for 30 years and retiring with a gold watch are over. Job security is a myth now. Even high earners are one corporate restructuring away from unemployment. And when your income can disappear overnight, it doesn't matter how high your salary was. What matters is whether you built a foundation that can survive without it. Savings, investments, side income, skills that transfer. So here's the real point. Your salary isn't useless, but it's no longer the thing that determines whether you're financially secure. It's just one tool, and if it's the only tool you're relying on, you're in trouble. What actually matters now is what you do with that salary. Are you using it to buy assets? Are you building multiple income streams? Are you learning skills that give you leverage outside of a single paycheck? Because the people who win in this economy aren't the ones making the most money. They're the ones who understand that income is just the starting point, not the finish line. And yeah, this is harder than it used to be. It's not fair, and it's not your fault that the rules changed halfway through the game. But once you see it clearly, you can start playing differently. Thanks for watching. If this helped you see money a little more clearly, I'd appreciate it if you liked the video. It really does help the channel grow. And if you want more honest breakdowns like this, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.